Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. So let's talk about trending topics this week, starting with the Queen and Cameron being caught on camera making candid comments. So the Queen was caught on camera saying that the Chinese officials were very rude, and David Cameron was caught on camera telling the Queen that Nigeria and Afghanistan are fantastically corrupt countries. Now, although it's said these were candid comments, they were caught on camera, etc., I actually think these were really clever comments. The Queen has nearly 7 months after that meeting with the Chinese officials called them very rude, but she got the job done. And she showed us that even if people are very rude, you can still have a really successful meeting. And with Cameron, I think that he knew that the UK would be implicated in some way during this anti-corruption summit that he's been holding. And so he wanted to show before any of this anti-corruption summit began that he's on top of corruption and that other countries are more corrupt than us, even though there is no prosecution in place for lawyers or accountants or bankers who are caught being part of the transfer of money between Nigeria and London. So yeah, I think they were clever comments, and both of them knew exactly what they were doing. In other news this week, and this is a shocking story, is that a woman, a receptionist, was sent home from PwC for wearing flat shoes. So they required her to wear high heels between 2 inches and 4 inches, and because she didn't comply, they sent her home. And when she said, "You wouldn't expect a man to wear heels, so why do you expect me?" apparently she was laughed at. The whole thing is laughable, but not in a funny way, because it's just ridiculous. I have no idea how shoes, high heels bear any relation or correlation to somebody's intelligence and their capabilities and the work that they're going to be producing. I mean, somebody could argue that as a receptionist, she's the face of PwC, so she has to look a certain way to represent the company. But that's just, forgive the pun, a step too far. So apparently it is legal to send somebody home if they have not met your dress code requirements as a company and haven't bought appropriate dress or clothing or footwear in the time that you've given them. But PwC, nonetheless anyway, has come out and said that they have scrapped that policy. Justice for women and their feet. It just makes me wonder, though, how many women are facing sexism in the workplace and whether they're speaking up about it. So kudos to the woman who spoke up, because she has created change for many other women in the country. And if you are facing workplace discrimination and sexism, speak up, because it's not just changing your situation, but changing it for many other women as well. Another story is that the BBC is going to be regulated for the first time in 90 years. So some of the changes you're going to see are that the licence fee at the moment, which is at £145.50, is going to increase in line with inflation until there's a new settlement. But until 2020, welfare benefits have been frozen. So people who can't actually afford to pay that licence fee are going to be required to spend more on it, and the poor are getting poorer. People watching BBC programmes on demand online will have to obtain a TV licence, closing a loophole that costs it 150 million a year. There's going to be less music, more talk. It's going to be managed by Ofcom for the first time rather than an in-house trust, and some government appointments are going to be made to the board members, but around 50% of board members will be decided by the BBC, and the government will sit on a BBC trust replacement. So they'll be regulating journalism through a political standpoint, basically. It's great that Ofcom are getting involved to ensure that the news is unbiased, but with government members on the board, bit of a contradiction, a bit of a paradox. Another story is that a 70-year-old woman in India has given birth for the first time to a baby boy, And in India, there is a lot of stigma around not having a child. You know, it goes as far as being said that you're cursed if you can't have a baby, because women are still seen as reproductive machines. So the couple are really happy. They've been wanting a child for however long. Apparently, the laws in India do say that women can't adopt after the age of 50 or have IVF treatment, but actually these laws are not regulated in every kind of hospital and surgery place, so it's harder to stop it from happening. And in other news, Azealia Banks has gone off again on a kind of rampage, and she sent racist tweets to Zayn Malik, and then decided to slag off kind of the whole of Britain, and she's been dropped from Born and Bred Music Festival rightly so. Tune in again and do share your comments as well on what I've been speaking about today. See ya!